Chelsea need to address a lot of things this season if they are going to have a very good season. I think most of the times, whenever there's a new season, Chelsea will start very well, then they will fail to address an issue, and that issue will just grow into a bigger issue and then cause the whole team to start underperforming. This season, I think there are 3 or 4 things that Chelsea needs to do in order to have a very good season. And I'm going to start with the obvious one. I think the number 1 obvious thing for Chelsea to do this season is to get rid of Sanchez. Probably maybe not completely out of the club, but they need to sign a new goalkeeper. And then I'm grateful that there's talks on ground now. Chelsea are currently in talks with Emi Martinez, to sign him from Aston Villa and bring him to Stamford Bridge. If Chelsea can get that deal done, Martinez is already an established keeper in the Premier League. He can start for Chelsea, pending when Mike Penders is going to be ready to take over the number 1 spot as Chelsea's goalkeeper. So Chelsea need to address that before Sanchez errors we eat into the other players and then cause them to start downing tools, because when you are supposed to win some matches or when you are supposed to draw some matches and then you get to lose because of mistakes of a goalkeeper or other players along the line, they start feeling some kind of like dejected and the rest, and then it eats into the team. Number 2, as much as Enzo Fernandez is a world-class player and Chelsea need him, if he wants to go, then I think the right thing to do is to get him out of the club now, before that attitude, get robbed on other players and then they start behaving the way he's behaving. I think Enzo is special, but he's not irreplaceable. I think we can easily replace Enzo Fernandez. Alex Scott look like a player that can actually do the job that Enzo does at Chelsea. So I don't see why Chelsea should be keeping and begging a player that wants to move. If they can agree on a deal with Manchester City, then I think that transfer should be done immediately. Enzo Fernandez needs to leave the club, and then Chelsea can go in and get Alex Scott. Then the number 3 point is, I think there's this video that is viral on the internet right now, where Rich James was, shouting at Peroneto, asking him to track back and to mark. And then he told him to keep quiet. He was, like telling Rich James to keep quiet. Alonso and the Chelsea management need to address that immediately, because, you got to put it straight to all the players that Rich James is the leader and the captain. And nobody should override his authority, especially on the field. You can do that behind closed doors or maybe on the training ground, but on the field of play, when Chelsea fans and every other person is watching, you cannot undermine the respect of a captain and then give room for other players to start disrespecting that player. So I think Chelsea need to address that immediately. So if Chelsea can address all of these, like with the game against Fulham, I saw some things that actually caught my mind. Rich James was good. If Caicedo is back in the team is going to be stronger. And of course, if Chelsea can keep Kupama fit, they can keep him happy, and Joao Pedro playing the way he's playing. And if Chelsea can address these things that I just mentioned, then we are going to have a very fantastic season. So I'm hoping that Chelsea can be quick, try as much as possible and get the deal done, so that Emi Martinez can be ready for the next game, or at least the game against Arsenal, because after next week, Chelsea are going to go to Arsenal for our 3rd Premier League match. So Chelsea need to get a goalkeeper that can actually go there, give the defense some kind of confidence, because there are some matches that ordinarily you don't play very well and then your keeper saves you and gives you those points. But I don't see that happening with Sanchez.